Welcome to In the Bosch Cave presents purchases of the month that will go into my storage unit for the foreseeable future. That is a long ass title, so I had to pull it up on my phone. Okay, so let's check out some of my purchases over the last month. If anything, this might extend a little more than a month because I didn't do this last month. I want to show off some of the cool stuff I got. So first, let's open the detail. Now, some of these things I'm not going to open just because I think it's better to keep them in the box and keep them minty so they don't get ruined before I take them to my house in 2 years. So here is the Cody Rhodes Ultimate. I admit I ordered it on eBay. I missed out last year. A couple days later it was up on Ringside for a lot cheaper, so I regret not just waiting 2 more days, but I did get the Cody. So here is the red Best Wishes shirt from FWF5 for my segment with Heath Slater. I gave this to Heath during the segment. They put it up on Whatnot a couple weeks later. I missed out, but the person that won it was nice enough to send it to me because he said I deserve to have it. So thank you, Rockin' with Dan.
Oh, beautiful.
Red Best Wishes shirt guy.
Dude, yes. This is nice.
SDL buddy. And I can hug it too. Now, this awesome shirt I got from the NWO crate. I know I was done with crates, but they announced the NWO crate, and I popped for this shirt. The Outsiders was probably one of the first books I read. I'm 99% sure it was because of Hall and Nash, and it came with this sick brawler. April says she wishes she recorded my reaction to getting this because it's one of my favorite micro brawlers. Here are all the things I brought from home. So here we have the Indie God PowerCon exclusive Major Bendy. I recently decided I'm not going to collect the actual series and I'm just going to stick to like the special edition ones, especially when it comes to the host of the podcast. I'm just going to stick to attires I saw them wrestle in, and I did see Matt wrestle as the Indie God in GCW back in March.
The fucking Indie God!
Again, I'm not going to open this one, but this is the Muhammad Ali Ultimate Comic-Con exclusive. I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm not opening it because I don't want it to get ruined. I can always just throw pictures in B-roll from Mattel Creations. Fellow Major Mark Nick Thompson reached out and asked me if I wanted an Eddie Ultimate. Walmart has just been a pain in the ass with pre-orders. They pushed it back to September and I was unable to change it to my current address. So here it is, Eddie Guerrero Ultimate. I was planning to open it anyway, so I just had him send it loose. I am very happy that I finally have this figure in hand. And just to go along with the NWO 4-pack, Cheyenne hooked me up with this Macho Man Retro NWO Macho Man. And I almost forgot Mommy, the Rhea Ripley Funko Pop. I know I've been slowing down on Funko Pops, but how can I not get Mommy? I met her back in 2020, and I actually did a video chat with her. It was one of the free ones through the mobile company that they partner with. But unfortunately, I was at work at that time, and the reception was horrible, so we couldn't even hear each other.
There we go. Okay,
There we go. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing? Good. Sorry, you were frozen for a little bit. But it's been nice to sort of see you, I guess. Even though it's glitchy, I'm sorry.
But yeah, thank you for checking out my purchases of the month that will end up in Thank you for checking out my purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Welcome to In the Bosch Cave presents purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Wow, I got it on one take. I think moving forward, I'm just gonna shoot these at home because this is not the most ideal space to be shooting things. As you can see, I barely even fit in here, and that's considering I cleared up space. But I also need to organize in here. Lately, I've just been coming and dropping these things off in their boxes, but today I actually have a little bit of time to organize a bit. So here are the purchases for this month. Here is the Suavecito Pomade WWE 4-pack. I finally found this at like half the price that I've been seeing it for a while now. The thing with getting these nice things is that I end up not wanting to use them. Here are some Major Bendies. We've got the Bloody Chases, so we got the Bloody Tommy Dreamer, the Bloody Sandman, Bloody Sabu, and Bloody Raven. I was always a ECW fan growing up, so I think this is one of those lines I'm actually going to commit to. Here's the Indie God Micro Brawler signed by Cardona. Finally, after ordering these last year on July 4th, not this July 4th, I finally got these Cella Retros. Here's the BWO Nova, the Blue Meanie, Big Stevie Cool, Stevie Richards, and King Haku. I would have done its own retro unboxing for this, but I really don't have the time or the space. So here I've got Mattel Legends figure. Been waiting for this one for such a long time. Here's the Chelsea retro figure in her Major Players gear, which she just recently wore on Monday Night Raw. A couple more micro brawlers. I got the CM Punk, who is no longer with AEW. And I got the Hardy Boys that I met last month, as you all saw. The official Series 4 Mattel Retros, which is Vader, Paul Bearer, Undertaker with the Phantom Mask, and Jerry the King Lawler. Again, I'm sorry that this isn't the most exciting to look at cardboard boxes because I just don't want them to get ruined. And speaking of cardboard boxes, I'm actually using the other one as a tripod now, so let me swap them out. It is the Ultimate Edition 1990 debut Survivor Series Undertaker and Gobbledygooker. I actually have another set, so I plan to display the Gobbledygooker in the egg for Thanksgiving. Hopefully April doesn't mind. Next month I am doing this from home.
2 weeks later.
Okay, so I know I said I wouldn't be making more trips here to storage, but I had to make one more trip, and I figured it's the end of September. Let me just show the remaining purchases I made this month, and then from here on out, I will do these at home because it's way too tight in here. I even had the door open today. Here it is from Pastel Toys, Grapplers and Gimmicks. This is my first order from Mitch. These are the ones that came messed up off the bubble, so I plan to display these loose anyway, so it's not a big deal. Okay, he literally sent the cards separately. Yeah, here it is. Mabel from Men on a Mission. I'll get the B-roll after that. And Mo from Men on a Mission. These actually are pretty good figures. I give it to Mitch. I admit I wasn't on board from the very beginning. I wasn't a fan of the Smoke Train, but I don't think anybody was. But these are really cool. Like, if I was to make a fantasy lineup, Mitch is the one person signing all of the people that I would put, from Men on a Mission to Savio Vega to Duke the Dumpster Drosy to the Godwins. These figures actually do deliver. So I give it to Mitch. Great job on these, and I look forward to getting more guys from that new gen era that just missed getting Hasbros. I also got some major bendies. I got an Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I got the Mets Brian Myers. I needed that one now. Never thought I would. First time ever in the wild finding a Chase, especially at the one by me where I never find anything. So I knew I had to pick up the Chase Legends Ted DiBiase. And what the hell, I'll open this while I'm here. Now this one is very special to me, very sentimental. Oh wow, I didn't realize it was this big. That's what she said. As some of you may or may not know, my other nickname is Purple Best Wishes Shirt Guy, and that was a name given to me by Matt Cardona at Live 3 because the bar was renamed Best Wishes Bar and Grill. I wore the Purple Best Wishes shirt. The rest is history. So I have an actual banner from that event back in the summer of 2019. I didn't realize it was this big, but this is going to be a great centerpiece to put in the future Bosch Cave, whenever that may be. But this is beautiful. Knowing that it is from that night makes it so much more special to me. So I'm definitely going to put this away, take good care of it. Okay, that is it for this month's Bosch Cave presents purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Welcome to In the Bosch Cave presents purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Like I said last month, it is impossible to shoot in that storage unit. There's just not enough room. It'd be easier to just shoot everything up here before taking everything to my storage unit. So first, let's start off. You just saw my trip to New York Comic Con, and I got this awesome New York Comic Con exclusive Ghostface Takes Manhattan. I saw Scream 6 the day it came out, and I thought it was an awesome movie. Probably one of my favorites of the franchise. Saw it with my daughter, especially because it took place in New York. I just think it's an awesome figure. I don't really collect that many non-wrestling items, so for me to get this, that means I'm a really big fan of it. So I thought I definitely needed this in my collection. I've been displaying it actually all month in the kitchen, just because it's October, it's Halloween. Next up, we have a major bendy that I've been waiting for since back in May when I first purchased it. It is the SDL bendy.
And I became the fattest bitch on the indies.
And it comes with the card as well. So last month, this Carl Winslow Funko Pop arrived. I thought it was going to arrive with the Urkel, but it didn't. But luckily, Urkel is here now. So here it is, Steve Urkel, Funko Pop. I've been waiting for years for them to make Family Matters. And you know what? Let's let this bad boy breathe. I dropped it. Did I do that? Family Matters, Funko Pops, Carl and Steve. So I've got a few micro brawlers as always. Here I have Jake Hager with a purple hat. I like this hat. It's purple. It's purple. Scissor Me Daddy, Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn. I already have the Acclaims, so I definitely needed Daddy Ass to complete the set. So I've got this Build-A-Figure. It is Mr. Perfect in the suit with the Mr. Perfect on the back. Okay, I also got this card from Topps, also not wrestling related. Danielle Official card, aka Topanga. And last but not least, I'm wearing this WrestleMania 12 shirt from 2800 Studios. This is sentimental because, first of all, I wore a WrestleMania 12 shirt for my 6th grade class picture. Look at that hairline. I did get into wrestling right before WrestleMania 11, but this was like the first Mania I really got like behind the hype for and was rooting for Shawn to win the belt. So I definitely had to get this for the future Boss Cave. It is basically a flag with the same design as I have on the shirt. Here it is. And this was also the main event for my first house show. It was Shawn Michaels and Diesel versus Bret Hart and The Undertaker. So these are like 4 of the guys that got me into wrestling. So this was definitely going to be a cool thing to display. If I could, I would here, but I don't want to get in trouble with the building. Now back to Bosch's World. Welcome to In the Bosch Cave presents purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. And we got a lot today to get through, so let's not waste any time. Let's get the bag out of this shot. Let's start off with the man, the myth, the legend. That is Mr. Joe Shoes. Always great hanging out with Joe at major pod events. So here we have, thanks to Mr. Tommy Sapienza, the Walmart exclusive Chris Jericho. In the purple jacket, purple sneakers, purple gloves. You know I had to get this one. So here we have Ultimate Edition Kurt Angle. This one I'm going to open and let breathe. So I'm going to have him crying in the front. We have some autographed cards from Pro Wrestling Junkies. Mandy Sachs, Mandy Rose autograph card. So a couple weeks ago, I entered a contest raffle for Ringside Collectibles. They were giving away the Danhausen Ringside exclusive. And I'm on the train one day and I get notification from Ringside. And I'm like, why am I included in this? And I notice my name is in the tweet and my name is in the graphic because I won this Danhausen Ringside exclusive figure. This is such an awesome figure. I liked it, but I was a little hesitant to buy it. But now that I have it, I'm definitely looking to get it signed by Danhausen. It's going to look beautiful, signed right there in the window. Maybe get like a cool inscription on it, or even something on the side on the cape. But such an awesome figure. On Black Friday, this went up as a surprise sale, and I got that variant Effie retro figure. Now the bubble's a little messed up, and I requested a new one, so they will be sending me a new one. But I still wanted to show this off this month, so here it is, Effie. And once I get my new one, I hope to get it signed by Effie himself. So this month was Black Friday. It was legends galore. I went crazy buying all these legends. It had been a while since I purchased these figures. They're impossible to ever find in Target, but Target had a pretty good sale, buy one, get one half off. So I definitely took advantage and grabbed all of the legends that I needed for my collection. So let's just get these open. These are going straight Lucy in my collection to be displayed in the eventual Bosch Cave. Rhythm and Blues, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Rhythm and Blues Greg. Got the Rhythm and Blues on the back. The jet black hair. And Greg would not be complete without the Honky Tonk Man himself from the Greatest Hits Legends Collection. Awesome figure, super toyetic. Here it is, Honky Tonk Man. Great jumpsuit on the back, Honky Wood. We have Mr. Perfect. I got him last month in the suit, but I needed Mr. Perfect in ring attire. So he comes with the yellow singlet, rubber singlet, towel, Intercontinental Championship. This figure is perfect. Now we have Heart Foundation, British Bulldog. And the last legend, the one and only Terry Funk. As you saw, I got Chainsaw Charlie when he passed, but this is the quintessential Terry Funk, the legend himself. Such a sick figure, Terry Funk. If you take a look at this shirt, it is Shawn Michaels winning the World Heavyweight Championship at Survivor Series 2002, Madison Square Garden. I was there. That was my first pay-per-view. It's just so sentimental. Now, this was probably his ugliest attire of all time, but there was no way I couldn't get Survivor Series, Elite, Shawn Michaels, Elimination Chamber. This is a must-have for my collection now. This one I hope to keep mint on card and eventually get signed by him. And I had to get him loose just for the collection as well. My purchases for November 2023. I don't really know how much I have. I don't think I have much coming in December, but that could always change. But pretty good haul for November that will be in storage for the foreseeable future. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! We are here for the Bosch Cave presents purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. No, it's me, guys. See? Wasn't really Santa. Let's get to this month's purchases for the holiday season. It's kind of wrestling related, but it's not really. I got myself finally the DDP Yoga Power Cuffs. Check these out. So these are supposed to help with the DDP Yoga, more of like a weight training workout. So I'm looking to start these in the new year and see what kind of progress is made and see where we go from there. Maybe I will document it for Bosch Fit. But yes, I have the DDPY Power Cuffs and hang those here with my stocking. And speaking of DDP, I have a DDP Micro Brawler depicting his 1998 look in WCW. Bang! This is a sick Micro Brawler. I ordered this a few months ago and it finally arrived earlier this month. And look, it even has the DDPY logo at the bottom. And two more Micro Brawlers. I have here Ty Mello. Fun fact, she was actually the first wrestler I ever met at the Wrestling Universe store in Flushing, Queens. But awesome Micro Brawler. I can place her next to her husband, Sammy Guevara. And last but not least, my twin, my doppelganger, all ego, Ethan Page. About time he gets a figure. I'm hoping he gets a Jazzwares figure soon as well. Could also use that head for a custom figure. So yeah, those are my Micro Brawlers. And this month was also the Major Pod Secret Santa. Now I've participated every single year since its inception. Year one, I received an autographed Kane autobiography. Year two, I received the Blood and Guts, Blood Brothers, Dustin and Cody Rhodes. 2 years ago, I received that LJN style Eddie Guerrero Classic Superstar. And last year, I received the Britt Baker Supreme figure. And Hornswoggle was actually my Secret Santa, so thank you, Swoggle. And this year, John Delana got me, and he sent me this package from Omega Level Toys. So let's open this up. So let's check this out. First, wow, I wasn't expecting this. We have a purple Omega Level Toys and Comics shirt. This is a pretty cool shirt. Soft, comfortable, and it was mailed to Ron Purple Best Wishes Bosch. Thank you, John. But here it is. Now, I got the Indie God, Major Bendy, a few months ago, and now I have the Indie Goddess, Steph Delander, SDL. Awesome figure. Thank you so much for my gift from my Secret Santa. Last but not least, it is the Major Crate. Now, this went up on pre-order a few months ago, and the guys did say, hey, it might not arrive for the holidays. We don't want to make any promises, but it actually arrived yesterday. Today's Christmas Eve, so it did arrive 2 days before Christmas. So thank you guys for delivering on this. With the exception of the Brawlers, I have no clue what is in this box. So here it is. I mean, the box itself is always an awesome design. I have the other two. I use them for storage for like little items like pins or cards or stuff like that. So this is a perfect item in itself. So let's open it up. There we go. Okay, so let's start off with this first shirt. Oh, this is actually a pretty cool shirt. Matt and Brian, major players. We've got Joe Shoes, Swoggle, SDL, Brian, and Matt. Not a fan of gray shirts because I get sweaty, but nonetheless, I will wear this. Okay, so I got the Hawkins Brawler and the signed Ryder Brawler. Wow, that's pretty cool that I got a signed one. We've got a Deathmatch King First Aid Kit. Just really Band-Aids and ointment in here. Oh my God. I don't have to bring down the apartment knife because there's a Let 'Em Breathe knife in here. This is amazing. We got a Ryder and Hawkins Micro Brawler sticker. Madison and Mackenzie tattoo. Okay, I don't see myself ever wearing these because these are Brian's daughters. This is sick. A Do Not Disturb door hanger. scratching that figure itch. When my future Bosch Cave has a door, this will definitely go on the door. We got a Smart Mark Sterling pin. We've got the Interstate Championship. This is perfect. Heath, Red Best Wishes guy, is the Interstate Champion. So if I ever do get a figure of Heath to put a custom shirt on, it'll be perfect because I can put this belt on it as well. And speaking of Heath, an autographed Heath photo. I kind of wish this was taken at FWF5 with that Red Best Wishes shirt. And what is this? A Stang inflatable bat. Oh my God. I'm not going to attempt to blow this up. Maybe one day I will. Pretty cool crate nonetheless. I'm very happy with it. Some very unique items, but unique items that I can actually use, like the door hanger, like the knife. I don't know if I'll ever use that first aid kit. I have my own at home. I hope everybody had a safe and wonderful holiday. It is Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas. And we will see you in 2024 for some new purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Wow, I'm saying that pretty seamlessly nowadays. I remember how much I struggled in the beginning. Thank you guys. Let's not waste any time and get into the January purchases of the month. This is a lighter month. I actually have a few things coming in this week, but they're not making the cutoff for my filming, so I already have next month already stacking up. We have the American Dream Dusty Rhodes Micro Brawler. Beautiful figure. You know, I need something to hold these up, so let's start with the big boy. Let's start with the Faces of Foley. I already spoiled it, but whatever. Ringside exclusive. Originally, I didn't even want this set because I was under the impression it was going to be like the Jax 3-pack. Then I saw it was 3 separate figures, and I was like, okay, I'm not really feeling it. I want a box set. I don't want 3 separate figures. Then they decided to put the 3 separate figures into a box set. Look at this. This is incredible. This would look beautiful signed by Mick Foley. I know he's doing an appearance at the Wrestling Universe in March, the day after the big event. So I may consider going and getting this signed by all 3 gimmicks. I know everybody wishes it was the Cactus Jack version from WWE, but he explained the reasoning behind this one. That's the WCW Cactus Jack, and I believe his wife made that shirt for him, if I'm not mistaken. So beautiful set. So another Micro Brawler. As you can see, I'm wearing my Saraya shirt. And I had to get the Saraya Micro Brawler in her All-In 2023 gear where she won the AEW Women's Championship. I've been a huge fan of Saraya Paige from the beginning of her NXT run. I met her with PCB back at SummerSlam 2015. I met her again a year later at a Tattoo Expo in 2016 and got to see her once again a year ago at the big event. She was really, really cool. I was there at Grand Slam in 2022 when she made her epic return at AEW. I wasn't expecting it. Okay, these are a little random, but I got these DVDs finally from Amazon, Citizen Coke and The Girl Is in Trouble. Now, the significance of these is I worked on both of these. I was a PA for this movie, The Girl Is in Trouble, starring Columbus Short from Scandal, and I remember just seeing this guy walking around. I was like, this guy looks so familiar, but I can't figure it out until I heard him talking. I was like, holy shit, that's Wilmer Valderrama, Fez. I didn't get like a picture or anything with them. I didn't want to bother them. I was on set working. But Citizen Coke is a documentary I worked on in my senior year of college. In my final semester, I was an intern for the directors. They were Oscar-nominated directors. It was just a fun documentary to work on, and I'm proud of the work I did on it. It wasn't anything significant, a lot of transcribing, but my name does appear in the credits for both of these films, so I need them for my collection of stuff I've worked on. And with all the talk of the Jay and Silent Bob Major Bendies, which I already pre-ordered, I got myself the Clerks Uncensored Animated Series on DVD. I don't think I've ever had the chance to see this before because it's been impossible to find, but found it for a pretty good price on Amazon and had to pick it up. So as you know, my Target rarely ever has anything, but I found these 2 greatest hits, Earthquake and Typhoon, the natural disasters. I had to pick these up. I'm not a fan of this packaging, but let's open these up. So here they are, the natural disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon. I feel like they're like that weird period between the golden era and new gen, but you never know when I'll need these, and they're impossible to find the originals, so I wanted to get these at a good price, and Target had them. Now we need some decorations, as if I don't already have too many for the future Bosch Cave. I don't know how big it'll be, I don't know where it'll be, but I need these two pennants, especially now that these two individuals are getting more figures, from major bendies to a retro figure. So all the pictures I have with them, let's take a look. Let's open this up. I don't know how I'm going to repackage this to bring it back to my storage. There you go. Effie pennant. Oh, and it's signed. I didn't realize that. And if I have Effie, you know I need Alley Catch. All right, last but not least, MVP. Now, this was not meant to be an MVP figure. So let's open this up. Now, I'm not using this as an MVP figure. I'm using this as a custom Cheyenne figure to go with my custom purple vest wishes. You're telling me this doesn't look like Cheyenne walking down the casino in Atlantic City? My January purchases that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Welcome, everybody, to purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. I'm back here again. It is Valentine's Day, and I'm here with some awesome purchases from this month. Let's start with this one. So here we have the CM Punk Luminaries, his ROH look. This is the look that I was first introduced to from CM Punk. The shorts, the sweater, back in Ring of Honor. I didn't remember ordering this in the protective case because I did plan to open it. Maybe it's a sign to keep it closed. Who knows? I feel like if I do see CM Punk, this would be the figure to get signed because this is how I was introduced to him. Also, shout out Mary Kate who took these photos. So it's cool seeing one of your friends' photos make it onto an action figure. And this one finally arrived. The 1 of 1,000. Jamie Hayter from All In. This is such a beautiful figure. The packaging is beautiful. I'm not sure why it took 6 months to arrive. Sucks not seeing Jamie Hayter on TV, but I do have one of my favorite photo op experiences with Jamie Hayter from Grand Slam 2022. This is when she was teasing the split with Britt Baker, and I showed up to the meet and greet wearing a Britt Baker shirt, and she's like making faces at it, and then we take our picture. She's covering Britt's face, despite later in the show staying partners with Britt, and they still haven't split. So I don't know. I guess she did a good job of kayfabing and teasing that there was going to be a split. All right, let's grab some of these micro brawlers. These are two of my favorite micro brawlers. Here is Captain Insano, Paul White, Big Show, Giant, played Captain Insano in the movie The Waterboy. One of my favorite movies growing up. I used to watch it all the time. I actually haven't seen it in forever. Maybe I'll go back and watch it again. I actually do have a Waterboy Funko Pop, so maybe I could display this figure next to the Funko Pop. It suddenly just went black and white in here, and that's because I have timeless Toni Storm. And this is such a awesome figure. I'm loving this new gimmick of hers. I met her a few years back at a convention, but I would love for her to do like a meet and greet in her current gimmick where maybe she's like sprawled out on the table and like you take the photo, like I would take the photo and then just upload it as black and white. So yeah, this is awesome gimmick. I'm a huge fan of Toni Storm's work, and every week I look forward to seeing what she does on TV. And let's keep it AEW themed with the acclaimed ringside exclusive 3-pack. Such a beautiful set. Look at the back. Yeah, the acclaimed and daddy ass. So here it is, the acclaimed 3-pack. This would just look beautiful signed by all three. I am getting Max and Anthony's solo figures individually just to have loose to display with the rest of my AEW figures, but this one has to be proudly signed and displayed. So here we have the Coliseum Collection, Wave 3, Roddy Piper, and George the Animal Steele. I do have Series 1 and 2, but they are in my storage unit. I got them during that weird time period while I was moving, so I never actually opened those. They're both still in their boxes. So this is my first time actually opening one of these. Okay, it seems like it's going to be too much trouble to open. It's going to be too much trouble to open this. I don't want to mess it up, so when I eventually get the Bosch Cave, I know I say that every month, I will figure out how to display these because these are such unique figures with the boxes and the way that they are made and the packaging. So I'll figure it out once that time comes, maybe to display all of the Coliseum Collection Ultimate figures. Last but not least, WrestleMania 10, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon. I'm wearing my Shawn Michaels Valentine's Day shirt. I would say these two men are the reason I am a wrestling fan. These two were the first two that stood out to me. Razor Ramon because he was Cuban. Shawn Michaels, just so charismatic. This match was one of the things that solidified my fandom of wrestling. So how could I not commemorate this? I wish I was watching wrestling a year earlier and had gone to Madison Square Garden for WrestleMania 10 just because it would have been so awesome to witness this match. When you open it, so Cheyenne did buy me this set as well. So I think it kind of works out because this is such a beautiful set to display in the box, but also loose. So I could pose them on the ladder in front of the box set. So I think it works out perfectly. Thank you, Cheyenne. I'll be picking that up whenever I see you again. Unbelievable set. So worth the wait. So there you have it. My February purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Welcome to the March 2024 purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Let's not waste any time. I have a nice amount of purchases today. Let's start with the micro brawlers. So last month I showed off the Luminaries AEW Retro CM Punk. And this month I have the micro brawler. I mean, I know that he's no longer in AEW, but I love that they were at least able to take advantage of the time he was there to put out these retro style figures to commemorate the time he was in Ring of Honor, which is when I was introduced to him. And the next micro brawler we have is Swerve Strickland. Swerve When I Ride. Prince Nana is actually going to be in the AEW crate this month. I haven't ordered, I'm not subscribed to the crate anymore, but I will track that micro brawler down on eBay once people have it in hand, especially because I love Prince Nana. But I definitely need that one to go with this Swerve Strickland. Speaking of Swerve, let's just keep the party going. Now I can do the dance. Swerve When I Ride. So here it is, the Swerve Strickland Unrivaled Collection, Series 14. He's killing it. I hope he is AEW champion sooner than later. Just let him breathe. Well, last month I had the Toni Storm Micro Brawler. Well, this isn't her timeless gimmick, so it's not going black and white in here. I mean, this was announced a while ago. I wish it wasn't so out of date, but I just wanted to have it for my AEW collection to display with everybody else. And who knows, maybe they'll make a cooler, a timeless version of Toni Storm, maybe like a ringside exclusive, where I might not want to open that one and I might want to keep that one to get signed. So this one can go with the rest. If anything, it's a Mariah May figure now. And the last of my two AEW Unrivaled figures, it's the Acclaimed. Everybody loves the Acclaimed. You saw last month I got the ringside exclusive boombox, and I'm definitely not opening that one. I want to keep it to get signed by all three, but these two I needed to get for the collection to have loose. So I'm going to open both of them. The latest set of bendies, I made the decision not to do the regular line and only purchase them if they were exclusives and unique packaging, which they are going to do moving forward. But luckily, all four people from that set, they're available now as special packaging with their feds. So I think that's a pretty cool concept. So first, let's start with the TNA ones, the Impact ones. There's Heath. Oh, baby. I'm surprised he didn't get a bendy a lot sooner, but I guess he's one of those people that they were just holding off to release whenever they could because he was locked in. So let's get a look at that Heath bendy. It just arrived half hour ago. And Ponderosa, a.k.a. Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa who recently signed with AEW. Also in the awesome TNA packaging. Amazing wrestler, one of my favorites. Had the pleasure of meeting her a few times, getting a picture with her and Chelsea. And we have the two WCW ones. Here's Chavo. Literally says, here's Chavo. I actually like the bendy and the regular series better with the Eddie is my favorite wrestler shirt, so I might hunt it down and swap it out. We have K-Dog, who is on my shirt right there. And I already ordered this one signed. I do plan to meet him at WrestleCon, but it actually came out cheaper to just get this one signed, and I don't want to carry stuff around with me. Awesome figure in the Wolfpack set. That's why I wore my Wolfpack shirt for K-Dog. So there you have it, my March 2024 purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. So I have one more purchase I need to open. It is right here, but I can't open it in here. There's only one place that this figure can be opened, and I'm going to head over there right now. And with the power of editing, I will be there in a few seconds, not a week and a half from now in another state. See you guys. Oh shit, Mike.
Oh
How's it
shit!
going?
What's up, Ron? How you doing?
I figured this was the only place I can open this figure.
What you got there? Well, first of all, welcome to my toy room, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. I just somehow went from the kitchen in my building to your toy room.
What do you got there, bro? I'm excited to see. I mean, I'm gonna take a guess of what it is if you're opening it here in my man cave.
Oh, I got peanut job. It is the
baby
Monday Night Wars Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan. From this was like a few weeks after the turn.
Correct. Right on.
When they showed up on Nitro, it was outside.
Correct.
He had the mustache, all black. So they didn't even have the NWO logo yet.
No, definitely not.
Let this baby breathe.
Let's take a look at him, man. Also comes with the Lex Luger Build-A-Figure from his first appearance on Nitro. Get him out of that plastic prison, man. Look at that tan. Look at that tan on that Hogan.
There we go.
Look at that bad boy. How nice.
I'm not getting too many of these. I'm just trying to complete at least this set. Mostly like the WCW people I'm trying to get.
Did you say WCW people?
Yeah.
Was there another WCW guy from Series 1?
I think there was Scott Hall. In the debut gear.
Fuck, he's hard to find.
I know.
But you know what happened, Ron? I was in my local Walmart yesterday.
You were.
And guess what I found?
Another Hogan.
Yes. I mean, I bought a couple for myself, but... Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, shit.
You know my name?
You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here.
Scott Hall.
Wow. Were you watching this live when it happened?
Hell yeah, I was.
I think it was like during I remember watching. I don't know why I was so mad as a kid. I was like, wait, what are you doing there? What is happening?
Maybe Raw was on commercial at that time?
It might have been, yeah, because I was a huge Razor Ramon fan.
Now, let's see. I mean, I don't know if I remember, but who was in the match that he interrupted? Do you remember?
I think it was Mike Enos.
Definitely him.
And what was it? One of the guys from Well Done.
Was it? I don't know. I would have to.
It was
Google it.
Two guys that it was like a jobber match. Like they picked let's put two people in there that nobody cares about and have the biggest moment in wrestling history.
Right. I do remember the Cowboy manager was out there.
Parker.
How come we don't have a what was his full name?
Colonel Robert Parker.
Colonel Robert Parker. How do we not have a figure of him? Let's take a look at that Scott. I know a lot of people are complaining that he's a little short.
He's the medium-sized man.
Right. Well, they probably used the British Bulldog's legs to make the jeans stick out of the boots. Oh, that's nice.
WWE Mike. But...
There we go. That is nice. Now, in the promo, did he have the hair pulled back or the hair
He had the
down?
ponytail. There's a ponytail head in here.
But like you said, you're just getting WCW, right?
I mean, I kind of want that fake Diesel.
Oh, true. Is that Series 2 or 3?
I think it's 2 because it comes with the Kevin Nash to complete this set.
True. This is true. Man, that's sick.
Oh, he's not wearing the shirt in this one. And then that would have matched all the figures.
That is nice, man. I like
the Puma.
that style.
And there we go. That's us.
So now I also have the Hogan.
Of course.
And what I also did, Ron, is before Hogan turned, into the NWO, he was feuding with the Dungeon of Doom. Remember the Dungeon
That's when I
of Doom?
started watching WCW.
Right. Kamala was in there. The Shark.
The Shark, the Giant.
The Wizard was the big guy on the throne. I forgot his name.
Zodiac.
The Yeti. Love the Yeti. You got to say it like that.
The Yeti.
We need a Yeti figure that comes out of the rock.
Are you going to have them both humping?
Oh, him and the Giant humping Hogan, the big bear hug. But you know what? They could take the gobbledygooker's egg and make that the rock that the Yeti comes out of, right? Where was I? The Taskmaster and all those guys.
I would love for them to make the
right.
Taskmaster.
They attacked Hogan. They shaved his mustache. First time in years. I guess he had a movie coming out.
Yeah.
And then the next couple of weeks, he was still champion at that time. He came out all in black, no mustache.
And they did the monster truck.
Right, remember that? Yeah, Giant.
No, I remember.
Giant fell off.
and then came back.
and he wrestled that same night. It's crazy.
And then I remember when they broke his neck in the War Games.
So this is what this custom here is.
Yeah.
Came out with the black neck brace. So unfortunately, he still has the mustache, but a little neck brace action on here. So there's Hogan, and he had just the black bandana. Obviously, no Hollywood or nothing like that because he was still red and yellow. But he had to dig deep into his dark side to fight off the Dungeon of Doom. You know that Zodiac, man. He's crazy.
Well, thank you for the haul.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for letting me open my Hogan here.
Yeah, brother. I mean, where else could you open it but here?
And check out the Toy Room Tour coming soon to La Puma Mania.
La Puma Mania 1980 on YouTube. Please check it out. I appreciate it, Ron.
Of course.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Here's some of the goodies I picked up. First off, my beautiful tote bag that Mike was making fun of all weekend. I got the Mania program. It's a shame they don't really make programs like this as often, but they do still make them for Mania. I have my one from Mania 29, opposite side Hall of Fame class. Got my foam middle finger from Major Pod Live 19, live in Philly. I kept all of my wristbands from WrestleCon and WWE World. I got my Heels and Faces figure signed by Mark. I put the Live 19 VIP badge in there so it wouldn't get messed up. Glad I finally have this. Now I have all the guys signed. And some of my 8x10s and autos. I have the photo with Mike, Alejandro, and Hulk Hogan. I have my one with Lita and Trish Stratus. I have my photo with Bianca Belair. And the pre-signed 8x10 that came with it. I don't know why they cropped the photo like this. It's not even censored. They could have just made it vertical, but I'm going to probably print my own version of it. And the Live 19 8x10. And I had this signed by SDL already, so I decided to just get Matt to sign it. This is from the night SDL joined him in GCW in Queens because I was there and Matt was there as the Indie God. And of course, the Prime bottle that we got after Mania. It was a madhouse just to get these, and they were only letting one person at a time take them. I actually drank it earlier this week. It was pretty good. I know people are selling the bottle for a lot, but I want to keep it as a souvenir. Like I'd rather not get the money and keep this as a souvenir than pay ridiculous amount for an event that I didn't even attend. I've kind of just limited a lot of souvenirs to like things that have sentimental value, and this is one of them. And so I already drank this, but I put water in here just so I can drink water while I'm talking. Welcome to the May 2024 edition of Purchases of the Month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Let's not waste any time. Now, last month, I ended up just doing all of the stuff that I brought back from Mania weekend, but a lot of these purchases I already had, but I decided to just show that because I filmed that on my roof and I thought the footage came out great. So I didn't want it to go to waste because I didn't end up using it in my vlog. So these are probably like half from May, half from April, but nobody cares. Let's just open all this shit up. Let's get started with these Jazzwares Vault figures. These are Ring of Honor figures. In the mid-2000s, I went to as many ROH shows in Hammerstein, Manhattan Center that I could afford at the time. I didn't have that much money, but I want to commemorate that time that I was a Ring of Honor fan. Okay, so here's Claudio Castagnoli. That's the look I first saw him in. Awesome figure. So here we have Bryan Danielson, and we've got both his looks with the shaggy hair and the bald head. I mean, I associate both of these looks with Ring of Honor. So yeah, let's get these micro rollers out the way. Awesome Kong. Here we have Amazing Red, House of Glory. Huge fan of his from the early days of TNA. Here's Prince Nana. I always have to do the dance. If anything, I just realized I hope he gets a Ring of Honor figure in his embassy look with the robe and everything. That would be awesome. And here we have David Arquette holding the Scream mask. I have a huge amount of respect for David Arquette and the work he put in. We have here the Trinity Bendy. I wish I had gotten a case signed when I met her a few months ago, but now she's back in WWE. Okay, as you can see, I'm wearing my Chelsea green shirt. I met her for the first time a couple years ago and got her first basic sign. She even personalized it to Purple Best Wishes shirt guy. But now she has an elite. I'm definitely hoping to get this signed one day. But I need one to let breathe. Oh, I love this figure with the skirt. Let's put the shush hands on her. It even says shush on the finger, the tattoo. All right, also from this set, we have Bam Bam Terry Gordy. but I'm going to display it as the executioner for my new gen set. Oh, I'm just removing the head and putting this piece on. Okay. Why is this thing so complicated? My God. All right, this might take a few minutes. Are these pants? All right, we got the head on there. Okay, here we go. God, that took way longer than it needed to, but here we have the executioner, the Sultan. Another fantasy figure of mine I was hoping they'd make. I had the Jax figure growing up as a kid. I surprisingly haven't gotten it yet. There you go. Just filming something real quick. How dare people interrupt me in a public space? Kidding. Haven't you ever seen a grown man film himself opening a bunch of toys? So many flowy capes and robes and skirts. So this one I ordered loose, but it is the Undertaker from SummerSlam 2015 because I was there with Frankie and Cheyenne, and this is the famous meme of the Undertaker sitting up and laughing at Brock, and it comes with that head. I'm gonna swap it for that one. Let's just sit him here. And the last of my WWE figures, Ultimate Legends Yokozuna. When I think of Yoko, this is the look I think of. You know what? Just to keep up with the theme of flowy soft goods, I'm gonna put the robe on him. As you saw last month, I had all of the stuff I brought back from Mania. And the thing about me is if I attend an event, I'm going to get as many things possible to commemorate that event, especially something that was as fun and as memorable as Mania 40. I got this online. It's a custom WrestleMania 40 VHS. Awesome cover. It looks like the old school Coliseum videos that I grew up on. Maybe one day I'll actually watch it on the VCR just for fun, for the novelty of it. WrestleMania 40 VHS. They didn't rewind it all the way, which is an offense at Blockbuster. We have the Cody Rhodes commemorative plaque from WrestleMania. Photo of him celebrating in the ring with everybody. A piece of the mat, number 169 of 540. Nice. I love how they package this too, especially because it's going to be stored away. This is beautiful. And these are my purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for May of 2024. Welcome to June's purchases of the month that will end up in storage in the foreseeable future. I had a pretty good month, so let's not waste any time. Let's start off with a big boy purchase. I've had my eye on this one for a while. It's just been a matter of finding it at a decent price and not wanting to pay too much for it. I regret not just ordering it last year when it went up for pre-sale on Mattel Creations. Here it is, the Logan Paul Ultimate Edition that came out last year. There it is. Check it out. All right, so I got some micro brawlers. First, we got the Honky Tonk Man. We've also got the Rock and Roll Express. And at House of Glory, I got this Tasha Steelz micro brawler autographed. So a nice little collection there of micro brawlers. Now we have the Monday Night Wars Diesel. I'm still hoping to find that Kevin Nash, so if anybody has it out there for a good price, let me know. I think it's awesome that they're continuing to create these obscure figures. I remember when I had the BCAs, I was just using my Diesel figure as the fake Diesel since he was no longer in WWF at the time. So here it is. I love the way it's already posed in the package. The fake Diesel. All rise for the Judgment Day. So let's start with El Campeon, Damian Priest, who I saw win the heavyweight title at WrestleMania this year when he cashed in his Money in the Bank. Next, we have Dirty Dominic Mysterio. So here he is, Dirty Dom. I put the bandana and the sunglasses on him. And of course, Mommy. I believe this is her attire from Backlash last year in Puerto Rico, which will look nice with the Zelina Vega. Here she is, Mommy, Rhea Ripley. I hope she heals soon so she can come back and stop Liv from trying to steal her man. And last, but certainly not least, the newest set of major bendies. First, we have the Enforcer, Arn Anderson. Then we have friend of the podcast, Maven, guest at every live show, Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And last but not least, you see her on my shirt. It is Alley Catch, her first two figures, the regular and the bloody variant. Alley Catch, one of my favorite wrestlers on the indies in GCW. I'm so happy for her that she has these. I saw the prototype a few months ago, Mania weekend. First chance I get, first GCW show that she's at, I'm bringing these to get signed by Alley Catch herself. I'm so happy I could support her in this line. There we go, Alley Catch ×2. And there you have it, your purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for June. Welcome to the July 2024 Purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. First, this is one that's been on my list for a while now, especially since I got the Hogan a few months ago and La Puma got me the Scott Hall. I needed to make sure that I got Kevin Nash to complete the set. This is Nash's debut, so here it is. Kevin Nash. I'm wearing my Click This shirt. Let's keep it going with the Monday Night Wars. We've got Hot Rod, Roddy Piper from his time in WCW. Awesome figure. I've always wanted a WCW version of Piper to display with my eventual WCW NWO collection. There it is. Roddy Piper. Put him next to Nash. Hopefully they don't get into a fight. So next up we have AEW Unrivaled, Saraya, and Ethan Page. I've already gotten both of their micro brawlers. The current NXT champion, his first actual action figure. I'm wondering if I can use that second head as a custom head for myself. So all ego, Ethan Page. Finally, he gets his own figure. He definitely deserves it. And we have Saraya. Like I covered before, I was there for her AEW debut. Always been a huge fan of hers. I don't care what the internet trolls say. So here she is. Saraya. This month's micro brawlers, the Deathmatch King Matt Cardona, Steph DeLander, both awesome figures, both flipping the middle finger. Now, these big bad boys I found, Blunt Man and Chronic. I didn't realize how big these were when I ordered them, but I got them both for a very, very good price. I think it came out to about like 20 bucks for both of them. As of right now, I don't think I'm going to open these. I think I might hold off and maybe I can get these signed one day. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was my introduction to these two, and I loved that movie growing up, and I went back and I've seen all the other Kevin Smith films. Last but not least, speaking of Jay and Silent Bob, I got these signed back in May when I met them at their comic store in Jersey. There we go. Jay and Silent Bob, Major Bendy's, already signed. They just look so awesome. The black and white, the store behind them, that's pretty awesome. So here they are. Let's give this one a new title just for this month. A lot longer. These are the purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future because I quit smoking 15 years ago. Welcome to the August purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Let's get started. First, check out this awesome Be a Man Hulk Major Bendy's Macho Man shirt, which is the first item we have this month. Macho Man 1 of 500 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Major Bendy's. There's never been a figure in this look, so this is pretty epic, and I knew I needed it. I made sure I was up and ready to purchase this. 1 of 500, very rare. So here it is. And it's not the only Macho Man Major Bendy. I also got the Will You Marry Me? I thought this was just an awesome figure, considering I'm getting married. So here it is. Macho Man Major Bendy. Will you marry me? Now this is actually my first big rubber guy. Also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Bloody Ric Flair 1 of 1,000. Let's get the close-up on that one. I've been a little hesitant on the big rubber guys because I don't really have that attachment towards LJNs, but I am gonna maybe collect a few. I guess this one is a rare one. He's wearing the purple trunks, so I think it would be cool to get this one signed by him. Only one micro brawler this month. It's Julia Hart, House of Black. Now let's move on to some WWE figures. Here we have the Big Bubba Rogers Legends figure. It has both of his looks from the 80s and the 90s. I'm going to display the 90s look because that's the look I grew up on, seeing Big Bubba Rogers in WCW. So there it is. Big Bubba Rogers. Let's get the close-up on him. So 2 months ago, I got Damian, Rhea, and Dominic of the Judgment Day. I needed to complete the set and get Finn Balor. Little did I know that the Judgment Day would fall apart, but here it is, Finn Balor. Series 111 Elite. I put the jacket on him. Let's get that close-up look with the bandana hanging out of the back. Maybe I'll display the Judgment Day as a tribute to the faction. But that's not the only Finn Balor figure I got this month. Here it is, the SummerSlam Elite. This is from SummerSlam 2016 when he won the Universal title. I was there, so I'm trying to collect figures of attires or moments that I was there to witness, and this is definitely up there as one of the great ones. His one-day reign as champion. There it is, Finn Balor with the Universal Championship. All right, here we have Eddie Guerrero, Ultimate Edition. Awesome figure. I've always wanted a figure in his 1997 look, LWO Cruiserweight Champion, where he faces Rey Mysterio. And the Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler shirt. And last but not least, This was made by Mike LaPuma's personal Hulk Hogan customizer, Jason Dunsel. Follow him on Instagram. As you saw a few months ago, Mania weekend, Mike, Alejandro, and I met Hulk Hogan, and I was wearing the Purple Pain shirt. I was watching the episode of Saturday Night Live before the first WrestleMania from 1985 when Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, one of the skits they did was mocking We Are the World, but it was Prince's version. They're playing Prince's security guards wearing these shirts that say Purple Pain instead of Purple Rain. I immediately posted it in the Facebook group and tagged Jason and said, you need to make a custom of this. And he did. He reached out to me and asked me if I wanted it. And I said, hell yeah, I want that. Purple Pain. Here it is. Purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for August. Welcome to the September purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Let's get right to it because we have a lot this month. First, let's start off with the lady on my shirt, Zelina Vega. Now, I've been a fan of hers for over a decade. I had met her back in 2012 when she was still in TNA as Rosita, again at WrestleMania Access 5 years ago. So it's great to see how far she's come because I've always known she's going to be a huge star. And this month I got 2 awesome purchases for her, commemorating one of the greatest nights of her career is when she wrestled in Puerto Rico last year. So first, let's start with this Mattel Creations LWO set. As you can see, it's only Zelina in here. I really only wanted Zelina from the set. No offense to the other gentlemen. I ended up selling the rest of them and keeping Zelina. So I'll keep it in there for now just so the figure doesn't get messed up. I love how she's holding the flag and displaying it. And her Funko Pop as well. Let's open this one up. So there it is, Zelina Vega holding out the Puerto Rican flag. Here is the Marvelous Mark Mero, Major Bendy's shop exclusive. This was such a fun character growing up. And he'll be doing a signing at the big event in November, so you better believe I'm getting this bad boy signed. So as you saw previously, I started collecting these Ring of Honor figures. I know a lot of people aren't crazy about this set because they might not be the most toyetic, but back in 2012, I did see these two wrestle each other in an amazing match and made me a fan of both of theirs. So these are 1 of 4,000, Adam Cole, baby, Kyle O'Reilly, and you know I had to get the Briscoes, my favorite team in Ring of Honor, one of my favorite teams of all time. I still can't believe Jay Briscoe passed away. Now, this is their more like current look. So here it is, beautiful set with the dog collars. I believe these are supposed to depict their last match as a team together against FTR. So happy I finally have this in my collection, honoring the Briscoes. All right, so here we have the Sandman ECW shirt wrapped in barbed wire with the beer cans. I originally was going to use this one to put the maroon Best Wishes shirt on, but this figure is so nice that I don't want to ruin it. And they're releasing a hack figure in the Monday Night War set where it's pretty plain with no shirt and black pants. So I think that one would be more suited to put that shirt on. So here it is, beautiful figure, the Sandman with the kendo stick. Here we have Eric Bischoff, Ruthless Aggression. I'm hoping to get my hands on the NWO one that comes with that Nitro ring, but I don't want the ring, I just want the figure. I'm gonna display it with the rest of my ad-free shows host. So here he is, pointing at his smile. Now to complete my ad-free shows shelf, we have Double J Jeff Jarrett. Now I love how this is packaged, and I probably would normally get this one signed, but I already have his Heels and Faces and his Bendy. So I thought, all right, this one is worth opening to display with them because it's a more current day Jeff Jarrett and doesn't really go with any other collection. I mean, it would go with the AEW collection, but ad-free shows kind of surpasses that in my eyes. And this guitar is like falling apart. It's like its whole body is wrapped in plastic. So there we have it, Double J. Here we have the legendary Bruno Sammartino. This is a re-release of an earlier figure, but he was the headliner at the Hall of Fame class that I attended. And he comes with a little Hall of Fame plaque and podium, so maybe I can also do a Hall of Fame display for that class. Well, most of that class. Bruno Sammartino, the one and only. And now we have another great brother tag team, the Harlem Heat, part of the Monday Night War set, Booker T, Stevie Ray. These figures are incredible. And the Build-A-Figure pieces for the Disciple, which I would have to still complete with The Rock and RVD. Booker T and Stevie Ray, Harlem Heat, one of the best tag teams in WCW. So there you have it, my jam-packed purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for September. And let's see what figures I have next month for Boschtober. Welcome to the October Boschtober purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. I am 2 days out from my biggest purchase of all time, my wedding. But I am excited. Anyway, let's start off with the man that matches my outfit. The shorts that I'm wearing sprawled out on this table a couple seconds ago. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, in his DX gear from In Your House, D-Generation X, 1997. I remember as a kid, this was just like the greatest gear, and I forgot my little knives. And I remember I had the classic superstars of this look. I've always wanted this one, but luckily, thanks to this greatest hits collection, I'm able to get it now at a reasonable price. Let's put that right there. Another awesome figure, King Booker. Booker T, one of my favorite wrestlers. The reason I did the scissor kick back when I was a backyard wrestler, and this was such a great gimmick. I wanted to get one to get signed, but this one has like a few scuffs on it, so there's no point in saving it. So let's open it up. And who's next? No, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, it's who? It's Jim the Anvil Neidhart, but also doubles as a figure of his gimmick, Who, in the mid-90s. I do plan to display it as Who, but just for the purposes of displaying it right now, I'm just going to leave him as Jim Neidhart. Here we have another one of the greatest hits. It is the Wise Man, Paul Heyman. Now, the reason I have it in this display case is because I am meeting him next month at the big event, and I plan to get this signed by the Wise Man himself. So let's just keep that here for now. Well, here are the Headbangers. Now, the box is a little messed up anyway, so there's no point in keeping this one. Headbangers, the first FWF champions. It's pretty cool to have them in elite figure form. Long overdue. All right, my one micro brawler for the month, Willow Nightingale. Fun fact, I remember seeing her in her earlier days at Ace where Cheyenne worked, and she did team with Jamal Jackson.
And perhaps, oh, they're dancing. They're dancing together now.
Who is dating my sister, but he's also been one of my best friends for about a decade now. So yeah, I want to give a special shout out to Tim from the Knockout Hub. He put up a post on X to win a Rhea Ripley Funko Pop, and I won. I already have this one that I opened up loose, so maybe I will just keep this one in the box. And now, all of my Extreme Bendies. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, during his time in ECW, Bloody, Mikey Whipwreck. We have the franchise, Shane Douglas. The Queen of Extreme, Francine. Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. We have the Superfan, Vlad, who I actually once sat next to at a TNA show about a decade ago, which was such a huge honor. That's like a bucket list thing, sitting next to Vlad at an event. Last but not least, a non-wrestling purchase, the DVD set, seasons 1 through 6, 22 disc set. This is insane. Yeah, I look forward to finishing this. I'm actually about to start season 3. These are the purchases of the month for Boschtober. Hey. All right, welcome to the November 2024 purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Let's just get started. Let's not waste any time with the big rubber guy, American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. Beautiful figure. I don't have many big rubber guys. I just have this one and the Ric Flair with the suit and Ethan Page on the way. So yeah, I'm going to be very selective when it comes to these, especially because they are so big, so they will take up more space. Now, let's go back to, I don't remember what month this was when the Tony Storm Michael Brawler came in, but I gave a wonderful idea. And who knows if maybe they'll make a cooler, a timeless version of Tony Storm, maybe like a ringside exclusive. So I pretty much predicted this one. It is the Tony Storm black and white ringside exclusive, if it'll come out of this box. Here it is. Oh my God. Well, this is exactly what I wanted, was a black and white figure of timeless Tony Storm in black and white that you can get signed, a ringside exclusive. I knew that ringside exclusive could deliver on something like this, and this is something that I would hope to get signed one day by Tony Storm herself. So last year, April and I were Western Barbie and Western Ken for Halloween, and she surprised me on Christmas getting me the Funko Pop of Western Ken, so I returned the favor on Valentine's Day and surprised her with the Western Barbie, which is cool to have our Halloween costumes in Funko Pop form. And I said, you know what? I got to do it again this year. So here it is, Beetlejuice and Lydia Funko Pop, which were the costumes we wore this year for Halloween. Speaking of Funko Pops, I have The Miz, and this is his 2010 10 look with the Money in the Bank briefcase, with the I Am Awesome shirt and the belt. This was the peak of me being a fan of The Miz, was this run. So here we have Kurt Hennig, Monday Night Wars, Rap is Crap, but can also double as an NWO figure. So I'm glad I can get like 2 uses out of this awesome Kurt Hennig WCW figure. I already have him in the suit and him in the yellow singlet. So I've got the Jay and Silent Bob, Chronic, and Blunt Man figures. I've got the Jay and Silent Bob Bendies, and now we have Jay and Silent Bob Micro Brawlers. And I also have the Funko Pops, which were probably 2 of the first Funko Pops I ever got. Not only did I get Jay and Silent Bob, but I got Mooby as well. So Jay and Silent Bob just continue venturing into the wrestling figure world. First time in the line, it is Julia Hart from the House of Black. All right, now we have the Dudley Boys, Mattel Creations exclusive in their ECW tie-dye with the ECW tag team belts. I'm still debating if I want to open this one or not, so I will keep this one in the box. And last but not least, it is Mattel Creations Coliseum Collection. Now, I know I keep these closed, so I'm just going to check in the event that this is a black card chase figure. They are blue cards. But like I said, I just love how this collection looks, and I will proudly display them once I have the opportunity to in the future Boss Cave. So these are the purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for November of 2024. I don't know why the lights are off in here, but I had to bump the exposure all the way up on my camera because there's no light switch in here.
Son of a bitch. All right, guys, I'm here with some Prince Nana coffee. This is Italian roast. Let's take a look at that. Italian roast grind. I've been meaning to try this for a while now. Prince Nana, who you saw me dancing with a year ago on Bosch's World. But I wanted to try his coffee out for the first time on Bosch's World. So I already brewed up my cup. You can get this entire package on Shop AEW. It comes with the mug, the shirt, and the coffee. Pretty good. I like it. Makes me want to dance.
Welcome to a jam-packed Christmas holiday edition of purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. And let's not waste any time. Let's see what Santa left under my tree this year, or what I pre-ordered months ago that finally arrived in the last couple weeks. First, we have Mr. Belding Funko Pop. Now I have the original 6 cast members: Zach, Kelly, Slater, Jesse, Screech, Lisa. And I got those years ago, and I always said, why didn't they make a Mr. Belding? But finally, like 5-6 years later, they made a Mr. Belding. So let's get a look at that one right here. Like I always say, I want to get out of the Funko game, but they just keep making so many cool ones. Especially like Funko Pops are the only place you're going to get some of these obscure television, music, movie characters that don't have regular action figures, and they're small enough that it's like, it becomes addicting, you know? Here it is, Mr. Belding. Next, we have the man I met wearing this sweater 3 years ago. We have All Ego Ethan Page, big rubber guy. It's crazy that when I pre-ordered this, he wasn't even in WWE yet, and since then he's already been NXT champion and is doing an amazing job in NXT. But I'm glad that they were able to sign him just in time to get one of these out. So there it is. And the man on my sweater, I ordered this back in the summer as well. It is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, Ultimate Edition, WrestleMania 12. I forgot when it was that I got that WrestleMania 12 banner flag with the matching shirt. For my 6th grade class picture, I wore a WrestleMania 12 shirt. So this is such a special event because that was the first Mania that I was a fan of for an entire year to see the build. And Shawn Michaels won the WWE Championship. So it was such a special event for me as a kid. I'm going to keep this in the box for now, but the way this figure is, like in the Bosch Cave, I may just have him hanging on the zip line from like the ceiling in the Bosch Cave. That's like really the only way I can think of displaying it. So there you have it. My jam-packed Christmas edition of In the Bosch Cave presents purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to the very first purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future of 2025. We are here not in the usual room because the guy that always walks in is in there right now. Got my big crate of figs. Oops. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Henry Bendy. We've got the very first Joe Henry Bendy. I ordered this months ago during the summer, back when I did the closing of the Perps documentary, and he just won the TNA championship. So we have TNA champion Joe Henry, first Bendy. All of that rhymes. Can't wait to see if he's in the Rumble this week. Here we have it, Joe Henry Bendy. And that's not the only Bendy. We also have probably one of my favorite Bendies that doesn't fit in these cases. It is Buddy Christ from Jay and Silent Bob. I love the partnership between Major Bendies and Jay and Silent Bob. It has just been awesome to see these get made, from the Jay and Silent Bob black and white Bendies to now Buddy Christ. I hope they continue making more of these and continuing this partnership going, maybe a Blunt Man and Chronic. I think this is just an awesome figure from the movie Dogma. Okay, next we have WWE Legends figure, Justin Hawk Bradshaw. As you may have seen in my huge New Gen unboxing a couple years ago, I was hoping that they would continue making figures like these, and this was definitely on the list. I remember having that BCA as a kid, and it was just always such an awesome figure. Like, even if he wasn't like the biggest name on the roster, like, it was just so toyetic. The cowboy attire, the whip, the hat. So I'm glad they finally made this in elite form of Justin Hawk Bradshaw, and we're going to open this one, and it's going to look awesome in that New Gen collection. And I didn't realize that it wouldn't come with a cowboy hat, which is kind of odd. So here we have it. Justin Hawk Bradshaw. The bull rope, arrive, clothesline someone, leave. Next we have the American Dream Dusty Rhodes Ultimate figure. What an incredible figure this is. 3 awesome expressions. No pun intended. This is the ultimate Dusty Rhodes figure, and it deserves to be opened. Here we have it. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, baby. But that is not the only Dusty Rhodes figure I have for this month. I also have the Build-A-Figure NWO Dusty from the Monday Night War set. I'm glad that this Monday Night War set has allowed for there to be some of these more obscure, like NWO figures, some of these more obscure characters like this one, like the Disciple. But I think it's awesome because we can expand that NWO collection, so it's not just Hogan, Hall, Nash, Six, and Macho Man. 2 American Dreams this month. And there we have it. Purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future, January 2025. And this crate is full of retros that I will be unboxing soon once the WWE ones come in, which I just ordered on Friday. So it's going to be a jam-packed retro unboxing in the Bosch Cave. I always love doing those. Those are the only ones that I give their own individual YouTube videos to. So look out for that on Bosch Star Productions. But until next time, back to Bosch's World.
Welcome to this month's purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for February 2025. I'm here with my Alley Catch water bottle. I told you guys last month to pick up some of that merch, and I did. I took advantage. A lot of these things were on sale. Support my friend Allie, who said I was her favorite Major Mark.
Who is Allie's favorite Major Mark?
Oh my God, come on. You can't make me choose. Purple's Best Wishes guy.
Okay. How do you know Purple Best Wishes guy?
He's there all the time. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. He loves me and I love him. He's great.
Thank you, Allie, and that's why I got this Alley Catch water bottle. I got the shorts, but I'm not wearing them right now. I got this nice keychain. Have a nice stay at the Alley Catch Hotel. Alley Catch water gun. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Let's not waste any time. Sky Blue. This is her first figure. Awesome figure. So toyetic. So happy that she finally has a figure. Yeah, let's open this figure up. There we go. Oh, perfect. That was a clean open. Wow. What an awesome figure. Oh my god, I forgot my little knife again. I don't even have my alley catch knife. Okay, so as you've seen in previous months, I've been collecting these Coliseum collectibles as I'm trying to kill time as this comes out of the box. There we go. Here is the latest one, Bam Bam Bigelow, Big Boss Man, two of the best big men of all time. Shame they both passed about 20 years ago, and I've never had the chance to meet either of them, but I was a huge fan of them as a kid and respect all the work they've done. So let me just, like always, I have to check if I got the black card chase. Let me just display them for once. I always just leave them in the box. Okay, both blue cards. Next we have, haven't gotten one of these in a while, a Micro Brawler. We have the Mariah May Micro Brawler, limited edition. Now, I've said in the past, I'm like back and forth with the Funkos. I finally decided I'm gonna purge a lot of my wrestling Funkos. Like I may only just keep like the very few wrestling ones that I really love, or like people that I'm like a completionist of, but mostly get rid of a lot of my wrestling ones because I have wrestling figures in so many other forms. Like it's just like another form of wrestling figures, and because Funkos are like so obscure as far as like so many other characters and movies and music, television, I think I'm just gonna kind of stick to having Funkos and like to represent things that I love that don't really have action figure representation. Over the last few months, my wife and I recently binged all of Dawson's Creek. Now, I never watched it growing up, she did. She always talked about how good the show was, and I was like, yeah, let's check it out. I'm down, and right away I was hooked on the show from beginning to end, so I had to get all the Funko Pops, so I had to look up if there were Funko Pops, so here we go. Here, let's start first with Jen. I figured if I'm gonna get the three of them, I might as well just get the whole set and get Jen as well. What other collection will you see? Bam Bam Bigelow and Jen from Dawson's Creek. There we go. Pacey, Joshua Jackson. April was Team Pacey. I was Team Dawson throughout most of the series. And the lady whose affection they were fighting over, we have here Joey, portrayed by Katie Holmes. And last but not least, the man of the show, my guy Dawson, fellow filmmaker. Comment below, were you Team Dawson or Team Pacey? Who did you want Joey to end up with in the series? So these are the purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. But that's not all. I'll make my way back around. So, this is a little unconventional, but I was sent a code for the Temu app, Temu. Get 10 free things, but you have to buy 3. So I was like, you know what? Let me go for it. There were a few cool things on there. I've always heard mixed reviews, good and bad. So I don't know where this is gonna go, but let's open this up. I started digging these things out. I don't even remember how much stuff I ordered. So this right here is a little light for the camera. So this will hook to the camera, battery powered. I don't have any batteries on me now. The light on this box and the light I'm holding in my hand are two completely different things. This one says it has a USB. There's no USB here. Okay, I got a wireless mic. I already have a wireless mic, but I kind of regret not getting the one that comes with 2 mics. So if I ever have to do a shoot with 2 mics, this will be great. This is good if I ever need to shoot something with multiple audio. Oh, I forgot I got this little portable speaker. It's a fake JBL speaker.
It's Monday night. That means it's time for Rewind to Raw.
Phone bath. Phone bath. I guess it goes in your shower. Oh, it's a slim wallet. This is a shoulder strap for the GoPro. I completely forgot to grab my GoPro when coming up here. Here. I believe this is my AirPod cleaner. Yep. And this is another like tripod type device. And last but not least, my drone. Now this is the only thing I actually really wanted out of all of this. So there you have it, my Temu orders that I have no idea what I'm gonna do with, but hopefully that drone works and I can have some fun with that, and yeah. Welcome to this month's purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. I didn't get to do this last month. I didn't get around to filming it, but I did have a ton of stuff last month. Nothing really new
this month, so whatever. This is purchase of the month, March/April. Let's go. Let's not waste any time because there's a lot of them. Oh, what a rush. Let's first start with this awesome Ringside Collectibles Unsanctioned Classic Superstars. This was like a surprise drop and it arrived within like 2 days. It is the Road Warriors in scale with the Mattel figures. Those original Road Warrior Mattels, they are super expensive, so this was the way to go. And yeah, let's not waste any time. I forgot my knife again. For the sake of this, let me just not remove any pieces right now. The shoulder pads are a little loose. I did meet Road Warrior Animal and Paul Ellering back at NWA Legends Fan Fest 2016. Oh, what a rush. Sick figures. Next we have Jon Moxley, Unrivaled Supreme. This was the attire he wore back at Grand Slam 2022, and I wanted that attire because I like to collect figures of attires that I've seen in person. Now we got our WWE, well, WCW. This is Lex Luger, who just went into the Hall of Fame 2 nights ago. This is WrestleMania weekend I'm filming this. It's from the epic night that he defeated Hollywood Hogan on the 100th Nitro to become WCW champion. I met him over a decade ago, Mania weekend, 12 years ago. Awesome seeing him go into the Hall of Fame. Well deserved, and I'm glad he's been able to turn his life around, and seeing him standing up there at the podium was super inspirational. But let's open this up. There it is, Lex Luger. I'll keep the belts and the accessories to the side for now, for the sake of not making a mess or having to put everything away. So here we go, Lex Luger. Thanks to Mike LaPuma, we have the British Bulldog from the Monday Night War set. I made my own little like makeshift custom when I was doing my Mattel New Gen unboxing, but this one's pretty cool. British Bulldog, 1995. Everyone knows my first love are the BCAs, and there are now bone-crushing wrestlers, and we have 2 new Jeff Jarrett figures. I love these, and I'm going to let them breathe. This one was made by Jax, but they use an Owen Hart head. It's only appropriate they make now with the Jeff Jarrett head, so I feel like I'm 10 years old again holding these. Look how small they are compared to the other figures, though. And now we have the Aztec. This one was never made, only made as a bendy. These just look sick. So happy these are being made. And we have 1 more left. Also, thanks to Mike LaPuma, we have the Sandman. When I originally got that ECW one, I wanted to put the maroon Best Wishes shirt on it because of the epic moment we had at FWF3.
I'll say we like PBR here so much. I do believe we're going to be hearing from PBR shortly.
And Brian Myers named him Maroon Best Wishes Guy. They made the shirt. I even met Sandman wearing this shirt. And at one point I made a custom figure using one of his older Jax figures with the shirt, but I had to make it with the Elite. But that ECW figure was so nice, I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. But at that time they had announced Hardcore Hack, which is a more plain looking figure with the black pants. And I think that one matches more for the Maroon Best Wishes shirt, so I had to go for it. Great, the one shirt that doesn't have a Velcro on it. Put that Threadheads shirt on it. Here it is, Maroon Best Wishes Guy, matching with your boy. There we go. And these are the purchases of the month for March/April that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Welcome to the purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. That was just a quick little tribute to Sabu, who sadly passed away this month, a true legend, and he will truly be missed by the wrestling community. Now let's go into this month's purchases. We have The Godfather. I didn't forget my knife this time. And let's get a close-up of this awesome figure. Carlito. So here he is. Got the afro, got the apple. Awesome figure around the time of his debut. He's got the chain from when he debuted his feud with Cena, when Cena was stabbed in the club.
Ron, that was over the line.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. If I would have known, I would have grabbed an apple from downstairs. I won this from J&J Figures on Whatnot at an awesome price, considering what it goes for on eBay. It was a steal, so I had to grab it. This has been one of my kind of holy grail pieces from my first WrestleMania, WrestleMania 29. Let's open this one up. Let it breathe. Here we go. CM Punk. WrestleMania 29. Carlito, CM Punk, The Godfather. Purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Welcome to the June purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Let's not waste any time. First of all, my favorite purchase this month is this official Cheyenne Ortiz The Voice shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees, his first official shirt, and I was the first one to order a shirt. So I am the first person to ever purchase an official Cheyenne Ortiz shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees. I love you, bro, and I'm always going to support you. Here is the Bret Hart. Thank God I didn't want this to display because this came in shitty. Look at this. Look at this. Thank God I was going to open this anyway, but what the fuck happened? Came in shitty condition, but here it is. Bret Hart from Survivor Series in 1993. But I'm planning to make this a custom Owen Hart. I met Bret Hart last year wearing my Owen Hart shirt and some pink shorts, so it's pretty appropriate. And also from that set, the 1, 2, 3 Kid. Now, for years, I've always said I want a heel 1, 2, 3 Kid or just a 1, 2, 3 Kid that I feel like the only 1, 2, 3 Kid they continuously make is the one that he beat Scott Hall with the blue outfit with the lightning, but they haven't made like a legit 1, 2, 3 Kid figure. And I met Sean Waltman dressed as the 1, 2, 3 Kid. So that's one of like those first cool photo ops I had, especially if somebody dressed in their character. This one looks great. So this is the heel 1, 2, 3 Kid from Survivor Series 1995. So I can display this one with the $1 Million Corporation while displaying the old 1, 2, 3 Kid with the click. So that works out, especially in that new gen collection. Both of these do. So I wish these were around back when I was doing my new gen unboxing, but this is sick. And it's in purple. I love it. And last but not least, the complete Matt Cardona Micro Brawler from Hammerstein Ballroom this January, wearing the If Cardona Wins Again, We Riot shirt. I was there. I needed this. He got me the tickets for the show for free, so it's the least I can do is pick this up. And there you have it. Purchases of the month that will end up in stores for the foreseeable future for June. Welcome to the July 2025 purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Let's not waste any time. As you saw, we have a couple of autographs from the TNA and GCW shows to get to. I've had these figures in my collection for a while, just waiting to be signed. Her first 2 figures, first chance I get, first GCW show that she's at, I'm bringing these to get signed. I haven't been to as many GCW shows over the last couple of years. And then with Allie's injury, it's been tough to see her. I haven't seen Effie, so it was nice to finally get these signed. My Effie Retro and my Allie Bloody Bendy. I'm waiting on the Hammerstein Bendy to arrive, and I will get that one signed as soon as I get it. So here it is. I'm wearing my Bussy shirt. I didn't wear this shirt to Coney Island because honestly, I just didn't want to wear this on a 2-hour train ride. This is more of a shirt that I can wear to a wrestling event when it's a little colder and I can wear a jacket or a sweater to cover it as I travel. And that wasn't the only Bendy I got signed. I got this one. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry, Bendy. And I got this signed by the man himself, Joe Hendry. Yeet. And it was the Yeet bobblehead. Should I open it? Let's see. Let's see how it looks. I also don't want to ruin this box. It's pretty secure in there. You can see the image on the box. I'm not taking it out. My one purchase that wasn't from one of these events was this Legends Billy Gunn, Smoking Guns Billy Gunn. Now, we don't have Bart, but who knows? He might get a Legends contract one day, but for now, doesn't get more new gen than the Smoking Guns. Let's let this one breathe. So there you have it, Billy Gunn. These are the purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. But before we go, San Diego Comic-Con was last week, and I want to go through some of the upcoming purchases that you will eventually see here in this segment or in the retro unboxing. So many awesome figures were revealed, so many new gen figures, so many amazing figures. So let's go through a list of the ones that I plan to get once they're available, and some I've already pre-ordered. First and foremost, the Royal Rumble 1995 Ultimate Shawn Michaels. My first memory as a wrestling fan was Shawn Michaels winning the Royal Rumble, so this one is a must have for me. Some Legends figures. Now to go with that Shawn Michaels, every time I've unboxed any Bulldog figure, I've always said we need a 95 Bulldog with the long hair, and they're finally giving it to us. Some other Legend figures coming out in this set will be a Bull Nakano, El Matador, we're getting Kona Crush, Build-A-Figure Bob Backlund, Diamond Stud, we're getting a WrestleMania 40 Rock. Now if it comes with the jumpsuit that he wore on that Sunday when he came out, gave Cena the rock bottom and was chokeslammed by The Undertaker, I'm getting it. Fatu, I need that Make a Difference Fatu. That's a dream figure of mine. And some other ones I'm considering. We got the Wolfpack Luger with the tank top and the jeans. We got Build-A-Figure Bubba Rogers in the NWO. We've got LWO Eddie. I believe I have one already, but I can't have too many Eddie figures. Steve Blackman for the first time in the line with the cheese head. Build-A-Figure Charles Robinson. We've got the Ultimate DDP. Some retros coming to ringside. We've got Jesse the Body Ventura, which I pre-ordered. I pre-ordered the Defining Moments Old School Punk, his Ring of Honor look that he wore for a dark match. We've got Coliseum Collection, which I've been a completionist of. I pre-ordered the Ultimate Warrior Honky Tonk Man one prior to San Diego Comic-Con, and I also pre-ordered the Jesse the Body Ventura and King Kong Bundy set. And last but not least, it went up on pre-sale last night on Target, the Hulk Hogan LJN. LJNs are back. I'm not sure if I'm collecting this line, but I need the one and only immortal, late great Hulk Hogan. And speaking of Hogan, let's throw back to the first Hogan figure I ever got. Welcome to the August 2025 purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. And let's not waste any time. First, let me show off some of the awesome autographs I got over SummerSlam weekend. I got this Nikki Bella doll signed. Let's go back, 2017. I got Cheyenne, the Charlotte Flair doll, for his birthday as a joke because he loves Flair. So he got me this for my 31st birthday as a joke as well. But considering the month I was having, it really made my day and put a smile on my face. So to get Nikki to finally sign it, it means a lot. Another autograph I got was the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo, Ponderosa, which is an inside joke in the Major Pod. She saw the Major Bendy and asked me if I wanted it to Ponderosa. Awesome seeing her again. We have the figure that I won almost 2 years ago from Ringside Collectibles, Ringside exclusive Danhausen. So I had to get this signed by the man himself. Very nice, very evil Danhausen. The timeless one, I remember a while back saying it would be great if they made a black and white figure of Tony Storm, and who knows if maybe they'll make a timeless version of Tony Storm, maybe like a Ringside exclusive, where I might not want to open that one and I might want to keep that one to get signed. They made it Ringside exclusive, and I knew I had to get it signed. Looks beautiful in that red paint pen. Glad I got this signed. And now to the purchases. Next we have this amazing box set from Walmart. They actually had it on the site and delivered it, which is extremely rare. That never happens. This is based on their return to WWE as the NWO when Vince McMahon brought them in. Check out this commercial that I made for the For Life podcast about a decade ago, spoofing McMahon announcing their arrival during like a joke feud between Cheyenne and I.
For Life podcast is going to die. I'm not gonna let Cheyenne kill what I created. I'm gonna kill my creation with a lethal dose of poison. Me. And the NWO.
So yeah, I definitely want to keep this in the box. Like I mentioned last month, during my Hogan tribute, I went to Toys R Us to meet Hogan around this time for the first time, and it was an NWO figure, so this is just a beautiful set. I definitely want to display this, and I think with a 3-pack of the NWO debut from 1996, I can definitely put these two together in the future Bosch Cave, so yeah. For the first time ever, it's a miracle Walmart actually delivered these. I got an entire Monday Night War set to complete the Build-A-Figure, Ted DiBiase. We've got the Great Muta,
Hollywood Hogan in what was a Yankees beanie, but it's an NWO beanie. Jerry the King Lawler in his wrestling attire, and Prince Albert. Here we have Prince Albert, A-Train, whatever you want to call him. It is an awesome figure. I don't know if I want to keep it yet because he doesn't really fall into any of my collections, but I wanted the pieces for the DiBiase set and I was already getting everybody else. I may sell this one, but we will see. Next we have Jerry the King Lawler. Now I have the original blue one in my new gen collection, but that one depicts 1993, like when he first came in. But this one more depicts his announcer attire. There you have it. Jerry the King Lawler. Next we have the Great Muta, which was the one I wanted the most from this set because I want to collect all the NWO guys. So here we have the Great Muta in the NWO shirt, NWO face paint. And last but not least, the late great Hollywood Hogan with the obvious Photoshop of the NWO beanie, which is supposed to be a Yankees beanie. Mike LaPuma has an awesome custom of this. Anything Mattel makes, LaPuma already has a custom of. Awesome figure. I know I already have a bunch of Hollywood Hogans, but it doesn't hurt to have this one. Here you have it, the autos and purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. And I completely forgot to do the Ted DiBiase Build-A-Figure. So here we have all the pieces for the Ted DiBiase. Maybe let's just get a shot of me putting it together. So we got the torso, let's put that head on there. Let's get those legs on there. So there we have the Ted DiBiase Build-A-Figure. Now these are the purchases of the month. Welcome to In the Bosch Cave presents purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for September 2025. Let's get started. This is an ultimate edition full of ultimates. You know I love me some Coliseum collectibles. So I have the latest drop. This is Ultimate Warrior and the Honky Tonk Man. I like that these drop just like every couple months, so it's not like consistently, and it is an easy line to become a completionist for. The Honky Tonk Man on one side, you got the Ultimate Warrior on the other. Never had the chance to meet the Warrior. I did meet Honky Tonk Man a little over a decade ago at the big event. I don't open these, but I gotta check if I got a black card chase. I got a black card Ultimate Warrior chase, oh my God. And the Honky Tonk. Holy shit, this was my first black card set. I wasn't expecting that. Cardona. So here we have Bailey and Logan Paul. These are both from WrestleMania 40 last year. Their attires were Bailey won the Women's Championship. Logan Paul retained the US Championship. We got Logan. I love that it comes with a little Prime bottle because I actually still have that Prime bottle from WrestleMania that I drank. So here we have Logan Paul holding a little Prime bottle. Eagles colors. WrestleMania 40, I was there. All right, next we have Bailey, who I just met last month, SummerSlam weekend. Got my pro photo with her wearing a Bailey WrestleMania 40 shirt, and now I have Bailey from WrestleMania 40. So there we have her with her jacket. I put the hands on her, the thumbs up, thumbs down. It's a sick looking jacket. Like, I love how detailed these are. Like, you can even see the tattoo on her thumb. Like, these Ultimate figures are incredible. And now we have the Ultimate Edition, CM Punk, Money in the Bank. Iconic match, iconic moment. I'm still conflicted if I want to open this one or keep it in the box. And I already have a few figures to get signed by him. I met him last year at Fanatics Fest. Look at this, incredible. Whenever I can't make up my mind, I just keep it in the box for now. So here we go. Now we have one I've been waiting a few months for, but already here. It is Allie Katch in her Hammerstein attire, which I will definitely be getting signed. The saddest moment I've ever witnessed at a wrestling event, but she looked toyetic doing it. Unfortunately, broke her leg. Still hasn't come back, so hopefully she'll be making her comeback soon. And yeah, but this is such an awesome figure. Got the red hair, the attire. Last but not least, we have two Funko Pops. We have Charles Hayden and Oliver Putnam from Only Murders in the Building. I don't know why they didn't make Mabel, Selena Gomez's character, but hopefully they make it so I can complete the trio. But here we have it. Martin Short, Steve Martin. These look so cool. I'm not talking to you, Siri.
Okay.
You know, they kind of remind me of another duo very well known on this channel. Anyways, these are my purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for September. Welcome to the October Boschtober purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. First, let's start off with some figures that Cheyenne gave me for my birthday. The Network Spotlight Shawn Michaels in that SummerSlam 95 gear, the gear that he is wearing in that very first BCA, the first figure I ever got. I do have this one loose in my new gen collection, but doesn't hurt to also have it on card. We got the ladder, so yeah, let's put that one over here. And that's not the only Shawn Michaels figure he got me. He also got me this one, Bad Blood 97, that first Hell in a Cell. Should I open this one? I mean, I have this one already loose. Can never have too many of my favorite wrestler, Shawn Michaels. I had the pleasure of meeting him not once, but twice. I met him back in 2011, and what kind of started like sparking us hanging out again and being back in contact and wanting to work on the For Life podcast was at that signing, meeting Shawn Michaels, and then WrestleMania 35 weekend 2019, I also met Shawn Michaels and got my pro photo and my Elimination Chamber glass signed. So I do actually have a few figures of his I want to get signed if he does like another signing or virtual signing. Put these accessories here for now. Now last month I unboxed the CM Punk Money in the Bank 2011 Ultimate, and now I have the CM Punk ECW Ultimate from back in 2006, 2007. I was so excited to see him finally sign with WWE. I briefly followed him in early TNA days, Ring of Honor. I started going to Ring of Honor shows right after he left, so I never got to see him in ROH. But I'm so happy he's back with WWE because I can collect all of these awesome CM Punk figures. Look, oh man, this box, beautiful. I remember in that summer of 2006 cutting a similar promo to the vignettes leading up to CM Punk's debut.
I drink, I smoke, my name is J.R. Scar.
Mattel Creations just does such a wonderful job with these Ultimates. Yeah, I don't even want to take this one out of the box. This one is beautiful, look at that. And speaking of CM Punk, last month, AJ Lee made her return after over a decade. I was so excited. I've also always been a fan of AJ, so I had to pick up this Topps trading card of her return. Okay, AJ Lee trading card of her return. Let's put her here with her hubby. And now we have two big rubber guys that I ordered several months ago. We have Arn and Tully, the Brain Busters. I already have the Ric Flair, the Dusty. It's funny how I have ended up collecting all NWA guys rather than WWE guys, considering this is a line paying tribute to the old WWF line. And last but not least, we have Brian Myers in his Iron Man gear. This was a New York Comic Con exclusive, 1 of 500. Now, I didn't attend Comic Con, but Gigi was there, and I asked her if she could please pick this up for me, drop it off with me as we all hung out for my birthday. So here we have Brian Myers. This is the Slammiversary gear. So I was at that show, and you know I like to collect figures of gears that I saw live. So here are the purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for Boschtober. Welcome to the November purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future. Nice little collection this month. So let's not waste any time. Let's start off with, since I just got back from AEW, let's start with this awesome Cope and Christian set. They're formerly Edge and Christian, one of my favorite teams of all time. I was actually supposed to meet them about a decade ago. They were doing a podcast at Caroline's, but unfortunately Edge had to cancel and was replaced by Jericho at the last minute. But I did get my photo with Christian. 2 years ago, I finally got my picture with Edge, and I got my basic 2-pack signed by both of them. I'm gonna open this one up. I don't plan to get this one signed or anything. One of my favorites of all time. So entertaining. I was kind of hoping both of them would come back at the AEW pay-per-view after FTR won the belt, but hopefully soon. And no, Edge is not gonna come out and fight Cena, idiots. So a nice little 2-pack of Cope and Christian. Great rivalry, but I prefer them as a tag team. Best friends growing up. This one's gonna be a little obscure, but the last couple months, I've been watching a lot of VH1 reality TV from the mid-2000s. The godfather of all of that is the show that started it all, Flavor of Love. So I had to get Flavor Flav action figure. Found this really cheap on Amazon. I was like, you know what? I need it. I need this figure. Flavor Flav, so, he's so entertaining and just spawned years of entertaining TV just from that show alone. Flavor of Love was that first like crazy competition reality show. Oh, this is cool. It's like a nice little podium here for Flav. There we have it. Flavor Flav with the Viking helmet, with the clock. One of my favorite sets to collect is the Coliseum collection. I'm not sure what's going on here that they decided to move it over to Ringside from Mattel Creations, and it no longer comes in that one big box, but now in two separate boxes. So this set is King Kong Bundy and Jesse the Body Ventura. All right, so let's start off with King Kong Bundy. As you see, they're in individual boxes. I'm not crazy about it because I was already enjoying collecting the double boxes. Maybe I can just stick them together. I remember Bundy in the mid-90s when he came back with the $1 Million Corporation, faced The Undertaker. I remember seeing him on Married with Children. And we have the blue card. There we go. I met him maybe about almost a decade ago at the big event. Now we have Jesse the Body Ventura, former governor of Minnesota, who I also met at the big event back in 2019. Anyways, here it is, Jesse the Body Ventura. Such a great collection. I can't get the LJNs, so this is the closest I can have. Can't wait to display all of them eventually. Some micro brawlers, but not just any micro brawlers. These are wedding micro brawlers. Now I already have Cardona and Chelsea micro brawlers signed from their wedding that they gave out as party favors. If I had the money, I would have definitely made micro brawlers of April and I. That would have been pretty awesome. Now Steph DeLander has followed in his footsteps. SDL, who recently got married at the end of October, congratulations to the one and only Mance Warner. Here we go. I met Mance back at the Hammerstein Ballroom show in January. I've met SDL a few times. It looked like such an awesome wedding, and Cardona made a beautiful bridesmaid. And last but not least, it's the reason I'm wearing this outfit. It's the one I've been waiting for months, pretty much for a year and a half, since it happened last April when Cody finally finished the story and his entrance was epic, came out with that mask, came out with Brandy. This is gonna be like my centerpiece of like my I've been there shelf. That artwork is fucking incredible. I'm definitely not getting rid of this box. Look at that, it is sick. Cody and Brandy, portraits on the side. Oh my God, this is beautiful. That was an annoying sound. I'm not opening this now. It'll sit in the box just to keep it safe. But there they are. Ultimate, Brandy, Cody, the mask, the jacket. Amazing figures. Purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for November. To the purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future, let's not waste any time. This is December. I know I went to the toy drive to donate some stuff, but I walked out with some goodies like this Alley Catch Bendy signed. And from the Cardona versus Slade match, I got myself my first Major Stars, Brian Myers. I don't really think I'm gonna collect these, but might as well keep it. As a late birthday gift or early Christmas gift from my mom, I got this Elvis Funko Pop. So this is the 68 comeback special, but it's like a bedazzled version of the bodysuit. So thanks a lot, Mom. Eat your heart out, Jeff. Next we have Regium, Grapplers and Gimmicks, Godwins, Henry O. Godwin, Phineas I. Godwin. Huge fan of theirs in the 90s. I met them about a decade ago, and these look cool. It can definitely be displayed with all of the Mattel Elites, Ultimates, 6-inch figure line, if it's for display purposes. So there we have it, the Godwins. We also have some more Big Rubber Guys, continuing my NWA Big Rubber Guy collection. So here we have the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson. I definitely want to continue collecting these NWA Big Rubber Guys. And I feel like this has almost become a monthly thing. CM Punk figures, definitely taking advantage of all the figures that Ringside and even for a while AEW was putting out of CM Punk. I know I got the retro Ring of Honor Luminaries CM Punk, but this is actually a dark match CM Punk from WWE from a match he had on Sunday Night Heat, teaming with Mickie James. So here we have the purchases of the month that will end up in storage for the foreseeable future for December. Happy holidays.
My name is Ronnie Bar.